video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Sunday, October 11th, 2009. This is episode 163. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, a question from Keith. Go, Keith.
What is your most memorable game where you just completely lost track of time? Where you just were playing it and you looked up and said, oh, it's Tuesday, and I missed work.
Very good. And joining us this Sunday evening is Chris.
Diablo 2. When we first got Diablo 2, we all went to Bob's house, and Keith, me, and Bob set up a LAN. Like, we learned how to do networking back in the days where you needed, like, end caps on your terminal, whatever those things were called. And we spent, I don't know, it felt like a week, but I remember your parents coming down. It seemed like every couple days.
We were there a while.
We were there literally for like 3 days straight, I think. We'd alternatively sleep on the couch.
Right. Keith and I were playing, and your dad came down, and he looked around, and you weren't there, and we were just sitting in your basement, and he kind of was like, why are you two here still, and where's Bob? And I think you were asleep on the couch, and we said, Bob is over there, and we're not quite beaten Bale yet. So
That was before Bale, dude.
Pre-Bale. Maybe it was Mephisto at the time.
But yeah, we would alternate sleeping on the couch in like hour bursts. I'm gonna go nap for like an hour, and then I'll be back.
It was probably 3 or 4 days we played straight through, literally, with, sleep breaks and eating breaks, but just... The basement probably really stunk at the end of that.
Yeah, I think I remember my dad saying something to that effect. Just like one of the times when I went up to take a leak or something, he was like, man, you guys stink. I was like, I know. I went back downstairs.
And also joining us is Keith.
Well, technically it's the same game. The exact same everything, but I'd have to think of a different one. Nintendo, when we got Dragon Warrior. We got it on Christmas morning, and I think we didn't stop until like 2 days after Christmas. Although my mom did make us break to sleep and eat and shower. But we were going for a while there.
And also joining us in a somewhat ill state, Ivan.
Wait, ill like sick or ill like Beastie Boys?
Well, he's always in that kind of ill state. No, he's actually kind of sick this time.
I'd be illin'. Probably something like Oblivion. I would play that game for hours on end and then realize how late it was and then call in sick the next day at work because I was up till 4:30 in the morning and wasn't going to be able to function, and then sleep for 2 hours and then get up and play some more.
And we wonder why gamers are all single. Reek, haven't bathed or showered or shaved in a week. You don't leave anything, you just sit there.
Next on the list is Phil.
I would have to say my answer would be the original Resident Evil on PlayStation 1. Remember playing that starting at like 9, 10 o'clock at night one day and playing till like 5 in the morning and then getting like 2-3 hours of sleep and then getting back up and finishing the game.
I remember playing... Now, isn't that the game where, for whatever reason, the dude started without a weapon or just a knife and had less inventory slots?
Yes. I think you started with a gun and a knife, and that was about it. You only had like one clip.
But I just remember that the chick started with like more slots.
And finally joining us is Bob.
It's non-video game, but gaming. But when I first played Magic the Gathering, remember that, Chris? That was another one we were just like, all right, let's play a couple games. It's 5 a.m. What the just happened? I mean, that was literally, we thought we had been playing for 2 hours and it ended up being like 8 or something retarded. We just played for so long. Actual video game related, I think at least most memorable was when I first got my Atari 2600 and played Frogger until I almost vomited. Because I was like in second grade and had like no concept of like self-restraint or like, what happens when you like push yourself too hard. Yeah, that was a bad scene. I really liked Frogger. It was one of those things where I turned it off and couldn't stop seeing the game. It like made my head swim and I got this awful headache. I don't think I had school. It was like next day was like a Sunday or something, but I was just laid up the whole next day. because, like, you know, I had absolutely no experience with video games or their horrible detrimental effects that they have on you as a person.
And the worst part is you want to go play more, but you can't because you feel so assy.
Well, my answer is, I'm sure I played like Wing Commander or some old PC games long time ago, hardcore, but most memorable would probably be the days of Counter-Strike, when me and Tom would start like 8 in the evening and then play till like 5 or 6 in the morning, when the sun was coming up.
Sun sucks.
I agree.
Because it's just a reminder that you've wasted 7 hours of your life.
No, I'm just gonna get a summer home in the, you know, Antarctic and then a winter home in the Arctic, so it's like never daylight ever.
This week on the GamerCast Network, Podtacular drops into ODST's new game mode Firefight on Crater and Alpha Site. Will they be able to endure all of this week's submissions? Tune into episode 207 to find out, or go listen live and catch some extras. Be sure to have your copy of the Resident Evil movie ready, because Podtoy is going to record another video game flick commentary. Podcastle? I thought it was killed by a guy with a sword from the 90s. Only on Destructoid, maybe. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Keith came up with the question, though, because I got Heather to play WoW. So we started playing, Keith, Heather, and I this morning. And he's like, hey, guys, just so you know, it's 6 o'clock the Eastern time, so I'm going to go do the show. And Heather went, wait, what? We started at like 11. Where did the day go? So it was cool for us because we said, do you know all those times that you say, well, I just got home and you've never moved since leave? Like, it's now you know why, because this is what happens is you sit here and you enjoy yourself and your body sort of just is like, well, I guess I'm not eating. I won't be hungry. That's wasting my time because this dude ain't going to get up. Now she's experienced it too. How do you like WoW so far, Heather? She's nodding her head yes. We were going to try and have her on the show, but she was like, well, I don't want to stop playing WoW. So she's literally, we're in the same room on a table. She is a level 16 warrior. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate a WoW? She said she would give it an 8, but she's upset because she wants a pet. So she's running through and we go to Undercity and she sees like all these dudes with all their sweet armor. So she wanted a pet and we went to the cockroach vendor and she doesn't have enough money to afford to purchase a 45 silver cockroach. It's cool because she likes lists. So she's angry when we have Quest Helper and Quest Helper shows you all the quests. And she's like, what? If we finish these, a new one pops up and I don't like that. I would like to have a conclusion. And I said, a conclusion will come about 1,000 hours into WoW. We've played, here, type this, babe, type /played. So you've been playing 10 hours of WoW so far. 10 hours and 43 minutes.
Wow.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft.
Enjoy your stay forever.
Next topic.
Heather, you're going to die if you don't run away from him.
Nah, suck it up. Man up. Nut up or shut up. Come on, go get him.
She's a warrior, but she's only traveled in her whole career with a priest, so she doesn't understand, like, health.
Oh, you're going to die. You die a lot.
But she's brought up a lot of interesting points. So from a person who has never played Dungeons & Dragons or any role-playing games at all, WoW does a lot right, but it does more wrong. So she's like saying, well, would I know what my profession wants to be? How would I know how to run? How would I know that things are where they are? And I said, look at the quest, read the quest. And it doesn't tell you in the quest. You just have to remember, I went to this dude who was in this area of town and I got to remember to go back. You're going to die. She's learning why not to run through a camp of Worgen.
But no, you're absolutely right. It does take a lot of assumptions that you were at least familiar with a role-playing game kind of play.
Like armor. So this armor is 20 and this armor is 50. So I can assume higher is better, right? But it's an assumption because you may not know if you've never done this before. What's damage per second? You're nice enough to show me that my sword does 4 damage per second. How come? And she's fighting and she's like, every time I hit the number 3 to use my heroic rage thing, he doesn't swing. Why? Oh, well, you swing. It's on a predetermined timer and it swings every so often. And that damage is to sort of tell you, generally over the lifespan of a fight, you'll do about 7 damage per second. Well, how would I know that? And it's like, well, it's a good question. You sort of wouldn't. I have no idea. Well, you know it because we just explained it to you.
Well, I got force accelerometers on the tip of my battle hammer. Ballistic gelatin test that I did prior to going into combat.
Next topic.
So,
Boy, that was a lot of effort just to say so.
I love that sigh.
So
I want that as like a ringtone or something. That was awesome.
So you've got at least two people who play more World of Warcraft than everyone on the show combined, and now you and Heather are playing, and what, you don't like us?
No, Keith and I, we discussed this.
Level 80 did want to start over.
What are you talking about?
I've got 8 characters.
We've got plenty of low-level characters.
We were on Garage, the server, and it was like when we were doing stuff, you guys were all doing your rating and your epic whatever, this and that, and your heroic daily whatevers. And we were like, I'll be there soon, plugging along. I have a level 75, but I didn't want to. I would have to start over. Heather called you all stuck-up WoW players.
Well, that's your fault, Mr. Wednesday night game night in the middle of raiding.
See, but that's the thing. Like, let's play a game on Wednesdays, and it's like there's a WoW raid, which is I'm not looking down on any of that.
I can. I'm up here on my pedestal, gazing downward.
What time do you go to bed, Mister? I have a real life. Just curious.
8:30.
I don't want a real life if I'm in bed at 8:30. By the way. We only went to this server because it's. I found I actually really like the PvP servers because it doesn't bother you as much as you would think it would, and it just adds an extra element of stuff to do.
So instead of joining a server that you have people on that you know and can help you whenever you want, you just joined a different server.
I'd like to go back to the aforementioned douchebag discussion at the beginning of the show.
I was on this server because I have 2 or 3 people literally just started playing WoW for the very first time. So I made a character to travel with each of them. So there's like 3 people total now that have all new, brand new, spanking new characters. Heather and 2 friends.
But you still really didn't explain why you didn't make new guys on that server.
I don't know.
But you're playing on a PvP server. What advantage is there to the PvP?
It's funny. It's going to sound ridiculous when I say it. The only advantage is that when you're trying to quest, other players can come and interfere with you and kill you and then sit on your corpse.
That sounds fun.
Right. And as stupid and retarded as that sounds, it's just an extra something. So you're doing your quests and stuff, but there's also this thing of anytime I see a guy, I can just go kill him.
Yeah, the only problem with that is when you're a level 16 warrior punching Worgen in the face and some level 80 douchebag decides he's going to run through the starting areas and annihilate everybody.
It doesn't really happen, though. They're too busy in Burning Crusade and Lich King land to be bothered to go back there.
It happens all the time. Even on this server, you'll go to Torin Mill, which is like a level 15 to 25 area, and you'll just see level 80s coming through killing all of the town people. Now, if you were on a PvP server, they'd be killing all of the players, too.
That's true. There's like 3 or 4 of you guys that basically 2 of you guys, Ivan and Phil, that have level 80 guys. And it's the same thing here. There's a couple guys that I know from that work at Microsoft that I got killed and I got ganked and I was like, oh, that sucks. This is why I hate PvP servers. So they did the same thing that you guys would have done, which is they bring their level 80s. And what's interesting is then it just creates, like Torin Mill then becomes a mini battlefield of everyone on the server decides, screw this, it's wartime. If all you want to do is quest, it's stupid and annoying and it's a pain. But because you can do it and it's like, oh, now I can go and there's another level 7 guy who's my level. I'm going to go fight him. And it's sort of more honorable than I thought it would be, I guess.
That's fine. The way I think of that is if I want to go fight other level 7 people, then I'll just go join a battleground or something where it's a controlled area.
Next topic.
Not that I don't want the whole show to be Warcraft, but can we just do 1 or 2 other things?
No. It's the Warcraft show.
Chris, how is Uncharted 2?
Uncharted 2 is, it may very well be the best console game I've ever played.
Until next week.
Yeah.
It's got all of the jumpy, like fun, cool, jumpy stuff of, remember when Prince of Persia first came out and everyone was amazed at how it was super fun to just jump and swing on things? So it's got all of that. It's got the third-person shooterness of like a Gears of War. And the melee attacks are just as satisfying as a chainsaw. And I played the story mode. I sat down and I played for 8 hours, went to go eat, came back and finished the game off in another, say, 3 or 4. So I played the single-player mode all the way through and then immediately restarted it on hard. And then went into multiplayer, which I assumed wouldn't be great because it's a single player game and Naughty Dog sort of doesn't do multiplayer. That's not what they're known for. And I played with one or two friends for literally 8 or 9 hours in a row. And it has co-op, it has horde mode or survival mode or whatever your favorite game calls it, and co-op missions and single player. So it basically has something for everyone, and they can do DLC and stuff to increase the game. I think they've said they want to do that. I don't know what the details are, though. If you own a PlayStation, it is a must-buy, and if you don't own a PlayStation, it may be a reason to buy one.
No, dude, I'm sorry. No one game is worth spending, what, $300? It's down to?
Right, and I'm not saying you should just run out and buy. I'm saying if you're like, oh, well, Little Big Planet's there, MLB The Show is there, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, there's enough reasons now where, like, there's 4 or 5 games that you're like, I don't know if this one game is enough reason. That's true, but now there's 5 or 6 of those games that you're debating. Maybe I should get, Killzone is actually pretty good. Critter Crunch, it's a PlayStation downloadable, it's basically PlayStation's version of a live arcade game. It's funny because it's cute and cutesy, and Heather thought it was cool. And one of the things you do is you eat gems and then puke into your son's mouth, but the puke is a rainbow.
Next topic.
Chris, have you tried the game Demon Souls?
I want to. It's been described to me as Oblivion plus Diablo.
You know what? I gotta say, I'm hesitant for new games after Fallen Earth.
Yeah, I am too.
It's really left a bad taste in my mouth.
We heard your last show. Now, can I just put a little something out there? If you actually believed Fallen Earth was going to be an amazing game...
No. I didn't think it was going to be amazing.
I wanted it to be Auto Assault.
I didn't think it was going to be that.
It was unplayable. It was so... No, I'm not going to go into this. We did a whole show about me complaining.
Dude, all right, it's like this. You go out with an alright looking chick, okay? She's not hot, she's not ugly, she's just better than average.
And it ends up she has a...
Exactly!
That's about what happened. This, I can't do anything with this. What? No, I mean, you looked alright, but now this, I can't... No, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go. No, you're gonna have to go.
If you buy an MMO that the first 2 words aren't World of, then you need to go into it very cautiously, I guess is my point. Meaning... wait for the free trial.
I don't know if that's going to be around long enough for a free trial.
Well, then that tells you something, right?
But I mean, it looked like Auto Assault. Now, none of you played Auto Assault besides Bob and I, but it was Twisted Metal, but it was an MMO.
I don't see how that could fail.
It didn't start with World of, and therefore didn't have enough people playing it.
And it's a shame. There's a lot of really solid... I mean, Hellgate London, I didn't play it enough to have a firm attachment to it, but it's rough for me when you think about all the time and money. Even Fallen Earth that you guys have said, like, no good, kind of avoid it, et cetera, et cetera. They spent how much development time making that game?
Not enough.
But at least how much? At least how many man months? Like a year, at least a man year, right?
Man year. That's gonna be my next City of Heroes guy. Man year. Controller of time.
I don't know. It's just, that game really left a bad... It's like, I'm scared to go try a new game. Like, you said that thing about Borderlands, and it's just like, I'm not sure anymore.
Demo it.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, this used to be like how you bought games back in olden times, the 90s. You just have to, like, go with your gut and say, well, this has all the bells and whistles that sound to me like a game I would enjoy. The screenshots look pretty good, looks competent. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out.
When cover art mattered.
Yeah, and we just got boned, and that's what happened.
That's what shareware was for.
I'm just saying it's probably the last time I'm going to ever do that. You're right. I mean, there's no reason now to ever buy a game without trying it for free first. And if the company isn't offering to let you try it,
there's a reason.
And the reason is either, in the case of Gears of War, like, no, I don't even need you to try it. Like, if you don't want to buy it, whatever, 7 other million people will. Or, maybe you should just buy it first, and then we'll talk about how wonderful it is. Those are the only 2 reasons. If enough people tell you to try a game because it's super fun and it's amazing, then you can try it. There's 4 of us, and we tell you, like, trust us, dude, Game X is pretty good. You'd buy it, and you wouldn't be worried about spending the $50, right? I mean,
that's different.
But that means we bought it.
Yeah, somebody bought it. And I was kind of hoping we found like a little gem, just kind of like, knowing, hey, look over here.
Like Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, exactly.
We were looking for the Tom Brady of the video game world.
Yeah, we're looking for another battle cry. Like, hey, I'm just sitting over here in the corner. You always pass by me every time you come to Best Buy, and really don't bother to take a look. I'll just be sitting here. I'll just wait for you. That's cool. I got nothing else to do.
Where's Team Fortress when you need it to help in this conversation?
Team Fortress has the HIV. It can't talk right now. It has swine flu.
It's got the pork flu. Bacon AIDS.
Bacon AIDS? That is the greatest thing. That's the new term I'm using right there. Oh, better watch out for bacon AIDS.
Next topic.
Let's see, how about the Dragon Age game coming out pretty soon?
Dragon AIDS? Is that like Bacon AIDS?
Dragon Age. The one that's coming out from, what is it?
BioWare.
BioWare, thank you.
It'll be good.
So it's BioWare.
When it comes out on November 3rd, there's going to be downloadable content available right from the get-go.
For which system?
I think this is across all platforms. I think it's going to be available across the PC and as well the consoles when it comes out to those. So now, when it comes out, there's going to be 3 pieces of downloadable content available. The first one is called Stone Prisoner. This is like they're including in the game a code to download this, so this is like basically killing the game as a used game. If you buy it used, you can't download this because somebody already used the code. So if you bought Dragon Age used, you have to pay $15 for this content, and this is new environments, new characters, items, etc. Like a couple more hours of gameplay.
So the game isn't even out, and they already have extra content.
Yes.
We'll back up, though. So think about this as a PC gamer, because we're all PC gamers now.
Did she just say me too?
Heather said me too, apparently. So that's resale of a PC game is sort of doesn't exist. So I don't care. So that doesn't affect me. Got it. I get a free code. Next.
Okay, next. Next piece of content is something called the Blood Dragon Armor. I think this comes with the game. Same deal as the first one. Now, the third one here is called Warden's Keep. It's a new dungeon to explore. Now, to get this, you have to buy the digital deluxe edition of the game. This is the equivalent to a collector's edition of the game, except when you buy it digitally, you're not getting any of the cloth map. There's a cloth map in the collector's edition.
Ooh, because anyone ever uses that. Why don't you just hit the M key?
I openly admit Asheron's Call had a cloth map, and I was out of tissue, so I did use it to blow my nose once. I threw it out afterwards, but it did serve a purpose.
I thought you were going to say you collected 4 of them and then mended them into a cloth robe to use.
Dude, you've seen my girth. 4 cloth maps? Come on.
Well, it was a world map, Keith.
Most useful one I've ever seen came with World of Warcraft that was a map on a mouse pad, but I don't even use mouse pads anymore. I think people are beginning to care less and less about stuff, because it's usually kind of junky. You leave it in the box that it came in and then never do anything with it.
Oh, great. More to take up space on my already cluttered gaming desk.
How much is this content if you don't buy the digital collectors?
Yes, I was going to check that. The content by itself is $7, and the digital collector's edition is $65, which is comparable to the collector's edition. Wait, this doesn't make sense then. Hang on.
I was just going to say, you've answered the question then. Don't buy the collector's edition and save $5 by purchasing the content.
I'm looking what else there is besides that. Oh, you get some in-game items.
I've never seen an instance in my entire life where the in-game item did something better that an out-of-game item didn't do. Meaning, if you buy this in-game item, your character does more damage. It's probably like, he has blue armor, and it's exclusive to if you purchase this, and it doesn't matter because you'll get rid of it in 3 levels anyways.
Oh, wait. Also, you get the digital soundtrack. The only thing you're actually not getting is the cloth map.
Got it.
You know what they need in-game that I would actually want as an item that wouldn't affect my character? Fancy hats. Like something you could wear over the helm, like a big fancy hat with a giant feather sticking out of the top, like those, like a musketeer hat or something. Just some giant gaudy hat with a scarf tied around it and a huge ostrich plume coming out the top. Good evening! Wow. Have you seen my hat?
Yes, I'm questing for it. I have to kill 2 of you to take it back to Bob, who goes to sleep at 8:30. So let's make this quick, shall we?
I need several plumed ostrich feathers for my fancy hat. Go quickly now. I slumber at 8 o'clock. Chop chop.
Warcraft does cool stuff like that. You get pets or mounts or something in game, which is actually useful. You're not going to stop using them in 2 levels. I'm not upset, but I kind of would have liked to have gotten the original World of Warcraft Collector's Edition, because then you could have gotten a little mini Diablo pet.
But it doesn't do anything.
Dude, I wish they were like Pokemon. Like there was a whole other game inside the game where you could collect little pets and like they couldn't earn you experience, but they would just fight each other.
That would be kind of cool.
They have those. No, if you went to BlizzCon, you got the little Murloc Marine guy who looks like a guy from Halo, and he fights with the Zergling pets.
That's awesome.
You know, I do have the Oblivion Collector's Edition, because I got it on eBay for like $10, and it comes with a coin that has Patrick Stewart's likeness.
So what does a normal human being do with that?
I think I'm going to put it in my car to throw at someone's window that bothers me because it'll crack it.
And they'll pick it up and go, is that Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart just accosted my car.
Next topic.
There's a new internet game in the UK called Internet Eyes. When you go to the website, you're viewing thousands of feeds from thousands of CCTV cameras all throughout Britain, and you're looking for lawbreakers. So you're kind of like doing the job of the security guard to watch the cameras. When you see someone doing something bad, you report it, and whoever reports the most crimes or suspected crimes and gets most of those correct.
You get an in-game pet.
No, you get £1,000, which is about $1,500.
I think it's a cheap scam for the government not to pay employees, is what it sounds like to me.
I don't think you can pay employees to do that. I mean, isn't that the big deal with closed-circuit TV everywhere? Is that, great, you have one at every intersection in London. Now you have 100,000 cameras. Who the hell is going to watch all of these, and are they really of any use? Other than recording somebody getting killed. You know, they're only as good as how many eyes you have to watch them. So I think it's actually kind of a clever idea. I think the danger of that is getting your, 911 service or whoever the hell's supposed to, respond to these people, like getting completely overwhelmed if somebody, because you only get money if you report real crimes, but it's also can be a lot of fun to spam the server with retarded.
Let's all grief it.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. Why couldn't you just go in there and grief?
There's a man with a funny hat with an ostrich feather in it.
All you have to do is get one right once. Like just at every intersection, every 10 minutes, report somebody getting killed. No one's going to listen to you. No one's going to listen to you. And then the one time you're right, you can sue them for not listening to you. And like, well, this person would still be alive today if only you would have listened to me. What's the point of And then you can sue the city for like grief or something.
It sounds like a good way to plan a heist.
That's it. You can report all the crime, like the one Quickie Mart. It's being robbed. It's being robbed. It's being robbed. It's being robbed. Quick, go rob it. It's being robbed. It's being robbed. It's being robbed.
That's an awesome idea. Let's move to Europe, and we only have to hit that one bank once.
I mean, yeah, and if you have direct feed to all the city's closed circuit, I mean, you know where all the cops are, you know where the cops aren't. Oh, there's a parade today. Look where all the police are. They certainly aren't on the west side of town where these diamonds are.
It's being robbed. It's being robbed.
We've just broken the game, and we haven't even signed up for an account yet.
Okay, moving on.
It's being robbed. It's being robbed.
Next topic.
Heather, say mailbag.
Here you go. Listen to this.
Hey, video game show. This is Dipstick the Third calling, and I just thought it'd be cool if I let you guys hear my sound impression of what it sounds like when I drop something in the toilet. Okay, here you go. And this is me afterwards. Blah, blah.
What?
It's being robbed. It's being robbed. It's being robbed.
Okay.
Let's make a new rule. If your voicemail isn't a question or making us laugh, you should just hang up.
What? What?
What the hell just happened?
Next topic.
Someone wants to buy your copy of ODST, Bob.
Oh, there you go. Dude, this is awesome. It's like Craigslist, but even if you're lazier.
What?
Sign your copy, Bob, and sell it for $10 more as a collector's edition and include a collectible cloth map from a different game.
No, just get a paper towel and draw bland mass on it and say, here's your collectible map.
I may have blown my nose in it.
Oh god, this guy wrote a lot, and I'm trying to parse it down real quick.
I'm Scribblenauts and also enjoying it. Thought I'd mention the time machine, same with the teleporter, plus 1.5 replay value. Also, I have a question for your guys' roll call. Given game engine, physics, relative accuracy, down to molecular, what kind did you want to see made or have part making? Best fight simulator, something like that. If you complete interested in ODST, happy to take it off your hands, even shipping. Smiley face. Anyway, good job on the show. I really give you guys another 30 minutes. The show is great. Don't give a darn about other people's pain. No voice, no great show. Savage apathy. There, that was his message.
and that was from Runs with Lag. Okay.
Wow. Wow. I'll have to listen to that again to see what it actually said. But hey.
I have no idea. I only picked up every fifth word.
The only thing you have to take out of that message right there is that put time machine Scribblenauts. You get more replay value. You can go back in time and get some dinosaurs.
See, I wouldn't want to with dinosaurs at all.
Like a
No desire
vampire
to.
biting a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the leg. Blood! Quiet, what?
What have I done? Oh god! It's gigantic!
You can also type in teleporter, and it teleports you to a random level.
I have no idea what the we were talking about for like the last 10 minutes.
What?
So the guy with the voicemail broke the show, basically.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
You have to control alt delete the show.
Alt F4, Alt F4!
And that was Video Game Show episode number 163 for Sunday, October 11th, 2009. Any ham sandwiches, shattered dream pies, or apathy cakes to give to the world peoples?
Ham sandwich to Blizzard for getting my wife to play World of Warcraft.
Ham sandwich to Blizzard for giving me another reason not to play World of Warcraft.
So can I give a shattered dream pie to Fallen Earth? Because it's obviously pushing you all away from Borderlands.
Borderlands looks good.
It does, but
So did Fallen Earth.
You know, we can actually give a ham sandwich to Cleveland probably for the only time this year for winning. They won a football game 6-3.
Wow.
Hey, they still ended up winning.
I barely know anything about football, and I know that's pathetic.
I guess we can kind of get... You know what? I revoked that ham sandwich. They get an apathy cake. At least, they don't get the shattered dream pie because they won, but come on, 2 field goals?
Sad to say, but I think the Indians can score more points than the Browns.
Wow.
And as usual, send your questions, comments, queries, concerns, or a roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night. I think we can end it right there if everyone would like to.
Should I even bother, sending you my file?
Yeah, for that comment right there.
Yes.
I mean, you might as well just use the Skype track for the 3 seconds of recording that.
Send me the file.
Okay.
We should do that next time. We give Phil 17 words. And when he was like, I'd like to use a word. I think this is good. Oh, crap. Now I'm down to 12. Oh, no, I'm out.
What have I done?